It's Eric Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Eric Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itsericnagel.com. It's Eric Nagel. Eric Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show. Eric and Jordan here with you, talking about television, movie, streaming updates, all the things that you need to know about. And of course, we start off this segment each and every time with talking about things that we have watched. Jordan, what have you been consuming?
I watched the new Final Destination Bloodlines movie that just now is on video on demand. It hit theaters a couple weeks ago. I think it's the 6th movie in the Final Destination. It's Tony Todd's last movie, and I have to say, it was fantastic. It was super fun. I like how they were able to tie in all the other movies into this. The concept was fun. The deaths were cool. All the kills were great. Tony Todd made me just sad seeing him in his state. He looked very, very sick. I mean, it was his last role. And apparently all his lines were unscripted as his love letter to the audience, and he said his last words. But it was super fun. It was really fun. So if you're into those kinds of things, that is definitely one you need to check out. I watched a new show, and I haven't watched all of it, but I watched the first episode of a show on, I believe it's Apple TV, called Murderbot. It's about a rogue security robot that becomes sentient, and now he's trying to it's hard to describe. It's one of the Skarsgård brothers, the tall blonde one that was in True Blood. So he's in this. It's interesting so far. I want to watch all of it to see how good it is, but so far I liked it. I watched the Now You See Me movies, the Little Magic movies, the first 2. Third one's coming out soon. Got me kind of into wanting to redo it. And then this is something that I watched this past weekend, and I didn't tell you about it because I knew this is something you've been wanting for a very long time. This past weekend, Amazon Prime offered me the opportunity for free to watch the Warped Tour live. And I watched the Warped Tour without having to go to the Warped Tour in Long Beach.
Wow.
So I watched a concert in real time live through streaming.
Is it saved for replay?
I don't know. I haven't gone back and looked.
Because Less Than Jake played.
Yep, I watched.
I want to see it.
It was good. It was fun. And I didn't have to go and be in the crowds. They would do like wide shots. They had like drone shots. It's everything that you have been pushing every time I talk about these big festivals and concerts and things like that. This was great. It was awesome. And I know they did this with what was it, Coachella last year? I think they did it again this year, but last year was such a big deal. I think Green Day was there, and I know they Blink-182 did the streaming, but I think this is what we're seeing. We're seeing them kind of shift into, look, we know not everybody's going to pay these ticket prices. We know not everybody's going to be coming here. Let's stream it. Now, I don't know if they'll go to a pay-to-watch model, like a pay-per-view, but Amazon just, they said, let's go ahead and watch it. And I watched some of it, and I got to say, the experience was fantastic. It was fun. I had a good time. So I wanted to bring that up to you because I know, like I said, you have been talking about doing these kinds of things. You'd be more apt to watching it than going. So I think that's the route we're going to start seeing a lot more of, especially with these big festivals.
That's great you brought that up because a company approached us to do some stuff with the show. Mm-hmm. And I responded back in a way that I don't think they're going to want to do business with us.
Go fuck yourself.
So there's a company called Festival Pass.
Okay.
You familiar with this?
No.
So Festival Pass is something that ties in to influencers and content creators and what have you in a way where you can go to concerts for free and then also get your hotels paid for and things like that by doing all this shit.
Well, then.
And it just seems like it's one of those management companies, whatever, where you're just constantly, selling and creating content based on the shit you're seeing, but not in a fun way, where it's all just generated. Because I guess that's how they're like how these companies are duping Gen Z people into doing shit because they're all about the life experiences. They don't care about money. It's like they say it all the time, or it's being said about them all the time. They're less concerned about money and ownership and stuff. They're more about life experiences, going and traveling and being present in places. Yet they're all on fucking line doing this. So how are you present at the time you're recording your entire vacation? It also ties into the fact that I had on a note on our prep sheet forever about I'm so tired of people going on vacation and documenting their vacation.
Yes.
Where it's not like you post a couple of photos where you're out at the beach somewhere, you're on a cruise, you're in Italy, Greece, somewhere, fantastic looking. I get that. But when there's constant video clips of like, join me in a day at this villa that we're at, and they're showing you what they eat and enjoy the fucking thing. You're not doing this for a living. You're not being paid to document your vacation like this. Stop doing this shit. Anyway, so what this is that join the movement and be part of the exciting world of live events, music, sports, comedy, theater, and more at its best. Pay once, get $1,200 of tickets to live events and hotel stays every year for life. I'm trying to see if there's an about.
Oh, there's a website.
It's just called Festival Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like no ticketing fees. Other sites charge 30 to 60% in ticketing fees at checkout. Members of Festival Pass will never have to pay additional ticket fees at checkout. Credit price you see is the price that you pay. As a member, you can share with us the genres, artists, events, and other things you'd like to see and be a part of. We will recommend events you might like based on your profile and past history on Festival Pass. Don't miss this another great event again. Get early access, discounted hotels, unique offers, earn free credits. Again, with the fucking credits.
Yeah, I was like, I'm reading through this and I'm looking at their pricing structure, and honestly, it sounds like what you were just describing with this app for the AI generation.
Yeah, you get a one-time or a monthly payment thing here. Mm-hmm. Ownership has its privileges. By becoming one of our limited exclusive lifetime founding members, you gain the highest level of access and $1,200 of annual credits to the Festival Pass platform every year on anniversary of purchase, and own the underlying asset. Get yours now. Prices go up every 100 sold units, sold out at a final price of $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine your lifelong membership as a valuable digital asset that you can sell at any time to a willing buyer at a market price. Yeah, this whole thing was, and you see the different price structures, mm-hmm. what you get. Like this one here is founders $99 a month, save up to 30%. Based on what? You're creating the price structure. You have no competition in this. Mm-hmm. It's not a genre or an industry that exists. But you get no ticketing fees, event recommendations, rewards, 90 credits a month of that thing, $1.10 per credit, 2 times, referral bonuses, early access, bonus tickets, early access to NFTs. That's another thing.
That's what annoys me with that.
Become a founder. So anyway, I'm reading this stuff, and the email that the lady sent to me from there, it's she said, creators like you have found out how to go to concerts, festivals, and events for free and get hotel rooms at no charge anywhere in the world. She obviously doesn't watch the show because that is not me.
I pay for a lot of shit.
Yeah. We would love to cover your tickets so you can see your favorite touring artists and report back for coverage on your show. To get started, we'd like to enroll you in our influencer program, and you can go to all these events, travels, and travel the world as Festival Pass influencer. Don't hesitate to reach out if you'd like more information. We can answer any questions. Here's my number, and best from the person. Here's what I wrote back. I say her name, and I said, while I appreciate the offer, but we actively encourage people not to go to events like this due to the companies like Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and overall price gouging that prey on people over underwhelming life experiences for social media status. All the best.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be here, let me sell you on no.
For as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be a good feather. But outside of that, I also have been saying, stop going to these things. Stop paying licenses for seats at sporting events. Stop paying all the Live Nation and Ticketmaster costs. And they're like, oh, these tickets are $200, $500, $1,000. Yeah, because you allow it to be. End of rant. I'm not going back into that whole thing again. But yeah, we got an email like that, and this is why we don't get any partnerships, I think.
So I did a comparison. I found their site. I found what they can do. So standing room only for a show for a band called Dance Gavin Dance here in Phoenix at the Van Buren. Mm-hmm. You can use 244 credits each ticket, which equates to about $243 per ticket.
Okay.
Or I can just go to Ticketmaster and spend $135, which I honestly still think is overpriced for where I'm going and for the band. But that's the thing. You're paying the subscription. They give you $1,200 a year if you're in the lifetime band, but they're upcharging the ticket prices to shrink the value of the $1,200 you're getting. Mm-hmm. So maybe you're going to see 3 shows a year, if that.
It's all scams.
That's not
all scams. I want nothing to do with any of this stuff.
No.
Notice the spelling of tickets?
Yeah.
I closed the page. I didn't. What is it?
So I was looking at it and I put it in our private chat. On their website, they're selling it and they're like, this is the festival pass. Enjoy $1,200 worth of live event tick teas and hotel room nights every year. Tick teas.
Can you?
Yeah, I'll screenshot it from the actual site. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know if I trust that. Usually, when you see things like that, it's like some foreign company trying to gather your shit.
Yeah, send me the screenshot, please, and I'll use that for a thumbnail for when I isolate this thing. But wow, that is terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Anything? So you got to watch Warped Tour live. I am very envious of that.
That was pretty fun.
I will look on Amazon to see if there's I even if it's like $7, whatever, I'll pay for the rental to watch that thing because that's fantastic.
Yep. And then I'm not playing anything new. I did start listening to one of the guys from System of a Down, Darian Malakian. He is in a band called The Scars on Broadway, which I had no idea about. Mm-hmm. And I found albums that came out like years ago. So I've been listening to some back stuff there. I think I'm listening right now to his album Dictator. I think it came out like 2018, 2019. So very cool. It just sounds like more System of a Down without having Surge in it. Like it's just the same sound, same energy, same stuff like that. So really fun. Other than that, not doing anything else, not watching anything else. There's a couple of things I want to catch up on this weekend. I know Giddles wants me to watch Send Her Back or Bring Her Back or something like that. So I'll probably check that out. And then, I got some movies.
Let me know if that's something I would enjoy.
Did you ever watch Talk to Me? Because that's the same director's same kind of vibe, I believe.
Let me see the artwork for it. I might have.
You would know. It's like an Australian movie.
I have not.
Yeah. So the same directors. Yeah, watch that one.
Okay.
And then if you like that, you'll probably like the other one.
Okay.
And then I found another movie that I want to watch. It's called Clown in a Cornfield. And I'm like, that sounds great. So
the story of Slipknot.
It's like a Shudder release. It's not out on Shudder yet, but it should be soon. But they did a little theater release of it. It's getting good reviews. I want to watch it. So I'll be catching up on some stuff. It's obviously almost July, so clearly it's all horror movies from here on out for me.
All right. For me, I watched some movies and finished up Fabulous Gemstones. Oh, no, sorry, The Righteous Gemstones. Dude, that season is batshit crazy. The finale, even more crazy.
I need to watch.
I need to finish it. Was sitting there and I go, you can tell Danny McBride just was given the keys and like, do whatever you want because that's what they did.
That's crazy.
And it was so fucking bonkers. I was like, this is awesome. So, because
more things should be like that.
I'll say this. You think it's going to end one way and then it does something else.
Yeah.
And you don't see it that much anymore. Yeah, see, the finale was off the rails. It was insane how great that last season was.
That's cool.
So give it a shot if you haven't seen the show. Go watch it. If you haven't seen the final season, go watch it. I can't recommend it enough. Then I watched, because it's finally on demand now, I watched a movie called Queen of the Ring.
I know what you're talking about. I have not seen it. I've been wondering how good it is or bad.
As a wrestling fan, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice.
You might like it too. It's a bit carny, it's a bit wrestling, and it's a bit old because it's based. It's what, the 40s, 50s, the time frame for this thing.
I think so, yeah.
And it's about it centers around the story of this wrestler, Mildred Burke, Millie Burke, and she became the first woman athlete ever to make $1 million. Right, but she also her story was what launched women's wrestling to be a thing. Like, it never existed until that, because I didn't know this, but back in the World War II era and stuff, there were states all around the country that it was illegal for women to compete in like wrestling, boxing, any of that stuff. You weren't allowed to do it. And then a couple of states were allowing it as part of a sideshow attraction for carnivals and circus and what have you. Women's wrestling, women's boxing, and then it started growing an audience that some states had to legalize it. And it got to the point where most of the country legalized it except New York and California. New York, New Jersey, California. And there's wrestlers from WWE and AEW in there telling this story. Was really good. In fact, this I didn't realize till the end, because she looks totally different in the movie. The actress who played Millie Burke is Emily Bett Rickards. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, she Felicity in Arrow. Yeah,
Felicity Smoke from Arrow on the CW. Had no idea until after the movie.
I think during the Arrow run, I started following her on Instagram. And so when Arrow ended, I forgot to just take her off. Whatever. She just kind of disappeared. And then when she was filming this and talking about it, that's how I knew this movie existed. Like, I would have never known it because they didn't promote it. It wasn't out and everybody. You may have run across it like through a streaming site, but I had no idea. And then she was promoting it, and it fell off my radar. And then when you had this on the sheet, I was like, oh, that's that movie that she was the wrestler. Because I saw pictures behind the scenes where she looked like, she wasn't like bulked up. She didn't like look like a modern day wrestler, but she had she had some definition to her arm, so she put in some work. So I kind of wanted to see it. I just never knew when it released. So, glad you enjoyed it. I really do want to see it. Where'd you end up watching it? It was like a
iTunes
video on demand. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at, because for the longest time, I guess it's an indie movie or something.
Yeah,
it was in theaters for a while, and then I was looking no streaming service had it, and then finally it showed up on video on demand, so I was able to watch it there, and it was actually good. I really enjoyed it. You might enjoy it as well.
I'll check it out for sure.
Then I wound up trying to watch this movie on HBO Max called The Alto Knights.
Oh, is that with
Robert De Niro playing two different New York City? It's based on a true story, but it's playing two different New York City gangsters. I got 15 minutes into it and I stopped watching it.
I heard it was not good
because De Niro is terrible. He's terrible. He's just a doddering old fool now trying to reclaim, the legacy of him in mafia movies. Like we saw The Irishman when that came out.
That was rough.
3 hours of wasting your time, and he's fucking terrible. Like at some points you had it zoomed out. You could see he's wearing lifts. Like that scene where he goes to the it's not a bodega, like the corner market or whatever.
Where he had to beat somebody up, and it was just
guy yelled at his kid.
He's like fighting in slow motion.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't move.
So the whole movie was terrible. And this one's even worse. I got about 15 minutes into it and I stopped watching. I was like, I can't do this. So I just threw on Casino for the 100th time.
As you should.
And I watched Casino again and just sat there mesmerized the whole time. I go, I've been watching this movie nonstop since when it came out in 95. It's the 30th anniversary of this movie. Oof. I've watched it at least 100 times and it's still fantastic.
It's like Casino and Goodfellas I could watch just back to back. And then you throw in like an older movie like The Untouchables and I'm just like happy. I'll watch all three.
That's a favorite thing I do online is when I'm arguing with people and then you point out something that you shouldn't know about them on social media because they leave their all their social media stuff under the same name and unlocked. And then you say something like that and like, how, and they get all mad and I just write back, or I have a screenshot of the elevator and it just says touchable. But I learned I can't even use the screenshot of that because it's blood and it's considered a threat, whatever. And so now I just say it because they don't know the reference. I'll just write touchable.
Nope. I love it.
It's fantastic to do. I will say,
you bring a knife, you bring a gun.
Realizing that it was the 30th anniversary of Casino made me realize that I don't have many things in my life that make me feel old because I don't care about feeling old or whatever. That doesn't register with me. I know women.
We talked an hour about video games. I don't think we feel.
Yeah, all these people like, I'm too old for these. Like, there's times where I don't even admit. Sometimes you get up and you hear an extra creak or a crack in something from standing up, and you're like,
my knees.
All right, I'm getting old, but I'm not going to be old man about it. Whatever. This kind of sat with me for a while as I was thinking about this. It's the 30th anniversary, 30th year of me being in television and radio.
It's a big deal.
My first radio job was summer around this time because you get out on the East Coast, you get out in June, mid to late June. Mm-hmm. A radio station on Long Island was starting up for the first time and they had nobody. And I just drove over there and wanted to intern. I lied. I said I was in college. Like I did for my first 3 internships. I lied and said I was in college before I go into college. Mm-hmm. And it was during the days where they didn't really have computer stuff for everything. So you had to fill out papers and you just say, I handed in. And you're like, did they get the stuff from college? Oh yeah, I already handed it in to such and such. Okay, great. They never follow up on it. So I'm signing paperwork and I never hand in school credits shit or whatever because they didn't care it back then. So I got my first job at an oldies radio station on Long Island for the summer interning, which led me to the top 40 station on Long Island, which led me into WPLJ in New York. So because I lied there and then I lied to the WBLI and then I got college credit for working for Scott and Todd and everything at PLJ, that started my career on false pretenses. But I guess that's the way you have to do things, as Preston said here. But you're a liar. You lied your way into that job. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. You got to start somewhere, not the fake it till you make it, but I'm more of the act like you belong there kind of thing. Act like you've been there, act like you belong there, and people don't question. So, 30 years I've been doing. I started at age 16.
It's still one of those things where like I still like sit there and go, oh, I only graduated in this year, and then in a couple of years it's 30th anniversary of high school graduation. I still think the 90s were like 10 years ago. Everyone
does.
And I'm like, that's when the music was great. And then I'm sitting there going, we're on the downward slope to 2030.
And I have older siblings that like the 80s was really their decade of growing up. And I was, bleeding over from the late 80s to the 90s stuff. But even them, their friends, whatever, never feel like they're 80s kids. They don't feel like the 80s were just yesterday. They don't think that it was that far away either. They don't think about it is what I'm saying. Oh. People who were 90s, be it young kids growing up or your teenage years growing up in the 90s, still feel like the 90s was not that long ago. And when you start seeing all these alerts about this movie's 30 years ago, the Spice Girls next year will be 30 years in 96 when they came out. All these songs coming up. This was 30 years ago. A few years ago with the stuff, they had the 30th anniversary stuff for Nirvana, and you're just like, holy shit. You start, it's making you focus on it when you're trying not to focus on it, right? Yeah. What is Jared saying? If Back to the Future was made today, they would time travel back to 1995. That's good point. Doc Brown's getting the bleach from Hot Topic and he's wearing the Jenko jeans.
Could you imagine they go back in time? The Enchantment Out of the Sea dance is like the scene from fucking Cheese All That where everyone's dancing to Funk's Soul Brother. You're like, oh fuck,
we're going to Lollapalooza and Lilith tour.
Marty, we have to get your parents together at Lollapalooza.
But yeah, so that kind of made me. It still doesn't dampen. It's not like you feel mortality based on that, but you're just kind of like, oh,
it does feel like it's just like, where does the time go? Like, where, what have I been doing for 30
I have,
years?
Agent stuff.
2 kids.
And when we're going through other things, talking to other companies and what have you, and I never had to put a resume together. I always had media kits or representation. I didn't really ever have to do that outside of college. I was lucky enough. Now they're like, well, you should have one. I'm like, why? I have years of experience. Why do I need to have this formalities? Because everything now, you could be offered the greatest deal with a company. They still make you go to the website and file there just for like HR coverage or something, some legalities that way. Mm-hmm. So I have that, and they're like, well, you got to leave this stuff off your resume. Why? Because it's too old. What? Yeah. So by today's standards, a lot of my shit doesn't exist before Opie and Anthony. That's like kind of where I'm like, but it looks like my career started there and I did. And they're like, yeah, but the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. It ages you out. You get restricted. I learned so much shit in some of these meetings that you want to say, I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to say this. You want to say that everything, people complain about diversity and equality and all this other shit. It is full swing the other way right now. And if you have a photo on your resume or your application of that's detrimental. If you have your gender or your sex and your race and your color and all that stuff, that's all detrimental because you're giving them an excuse to say no before having an interview with you. And I go, I'm not doing it. What are you talking about? And they're like, this is the way it's done. Agent had some people go through my stuff and my resume. They hand it back to me. I go, what do I do with this?
Piece of paper.
It's just stuff you got to hand in. If if we're getting you, applying for new jobs or whatever, this is just shit you have to give to HR now. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, it's all like I've done a million other things besides what's listed here. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Oh, okay, fine with me. They're like, well, what's this? These are credits for video games. I'm like, I'm in like 5 major video games, some of the best selling of all time. That's an accomplishment. Well, that's more like an accolade. No, it's an actual thing that I did.
Right.
So that got worked back in, and then I'm not even going into the whole rest of this shit. It's just amazing where the world is now that you can't be someone like me on paper because then they won't even talk to you. Just putting it out there that is a thing, whether you want to accept it or not. That is the fact. Having half my work history cut off from my presentation and all that stuff was mind blowing to me. I was like, I don't care. Whatever signs the deal, sign the deal. But I was just looking at it. I go, really? This is what it's like. Oh yeah. If you have too much on your shit now, you're viewed as being too expensive, too old, too whatever. These are all things that used to benefit you. Growing up, working hard, being, getting degrees and achievements and awards and promotions and all of this stuff here. Now, if you put that there, oh, this is too overwhelming. You're probably too much money. We're not even going to talk to you or consider you. What do I do? What do you do?
I don't even know.
I gave it all to them. I go, you find shit. That's what they're getting paid for. You find it. You let me know who I have to talk to after that. Preston saying, just leave the Pee-wee documentary spot off your resume. Fuck that. It's going on at the top.
I was going to say, if anything, that's what you highlight. That's at least now.
Good night, Mr. Subdivisions. Hey, request for your next karaoke show. Knock on Wood, the disco song. I want to hear you do that.
Gonna knock.
That'd be fine. The final thing, and then we move on to the rest of this here, that started to make me feel old when I realized, and it passed like 2 months ago and I was not aware of it. It's the 50th anniversary of one of my favorite movies. Monty Python and the Holy Grail came out in April 27th, 1975.
That's so crazy.
That made me feel old.
I quote that like all the time.
Yeah.
Not you dead.
Not dead yet.
Oh, come on.
A shrubbery. I love singing Knights of the Round Table. Doing the dance routine with it and everything.
I always sing Brave, Brave Sir Robin.
So Robin ran away. When
I did
danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and I didn't. I never.
would
What
never.
are you talking? Yes, Eric Idle screaming during the song.
The coconuts.
But the Camelot song, and at the end he goes, "On second thought, let's not go there. 'Tis a silly place." And then they just gallop off. But anyway, that made me feel old.
I actually just pre-ordered the anniversary of that movie in 4K, and it's so funny. This is this one, the whole like yeah, they did that,
and
it's Monty Python Holy Grail 4K. And now, at last, again, another film completely different from some of the other films, which aren't quite the same as the one. Like, it's perfect. Like, it's such a great thing, and I'm so happy to have it again.
You know what's sad? There's been other great sketch comedy groups that have come since Monty Python, but none of them have that, whatever that one thing is that I can't quite pinpoint that Monty Python had. Like, they were highly educated people, scholars.
They were smart,
so unbelievably smart, and what everyone would think, or they would admit, wasted their time with doing those sketches and the writing, whatever. You were never going to see something like that again. I mean, you could say Kids in the Hall, you could say like Whitest Kids, you could say Chappelle, those kind of things. But there was something about Monty Python that was just so absurd. I can't really pinpoint it, that you just don't get that feeling from anything else that has come since.
And some might call me Tim. I may actually order
Tim the Enhancer.
I might order Tim the Enhancer, and we'll just wear it during a show one day.
I think over there I have the complete Monty Python Funko set.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Plead on me? Yeah, no, 50 years. I know it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws. It's the 50th anniversary of Monty Python. Like, these are things that like always bring me joy. I mean, in 2 more years, it's the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. 50. Like, Star Wars is still alive and well today, whether or not you like the stuff that they're putting out or whatever. The property has lasted, and it's 50 years old in 2 years, and it's mind blowing.
I'm going to write something into the chat here. I want to figure out how we can make this happen. And then see if you can figure out how we can do this every week.
Okay.
Because there's certain milestones coming up this decade, and especially next decade, that we could definitely do that I don't think other shows are going to do.
Okay. Oh.
Look at that.
I really don't like your use of the N-word, but yes, I understand what you're doing. And I think we can make that happen.
Negative Nancy is not the N-word. Racist.
Nuclear.
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear. But you saw what I said there. That should be something too, right? Because there's going to be some great milestones coming up for the next several decades about that. All right, moving on. Out now in theaters, 28 years later, which I'm actually want to go back and watch 28 Days and 28 Weeks because I only saw the first one.
Love them both. The second one took me a while to get used to, but it's such a great opening to that movie that it's worth watching again.
I've heard early reviews of 28 Years Later, and they're saying it's great.
I can't wait. Gittles actually messaged me earlier, and he actually might go see that tomorrow. So.
Right. So good thing to hear early reviews of that. Something else that's coming out next week that's not good reviews, and I'll tell you what that is in a moment. And then also for the kids, Disney's Pixar Elio. Still have no idea.
Not getting that great a movie. It's apparently like a alien abduction movie for kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Best of luck with that. Over on HBO Max, Surviving Ohio State. I saw that on the front page. I didn't really read up what that was.
It's a documentary about the wrestling team issues. Remember with Jim Jordan and all that stuff? It's a documentary going through all that. So, yeah, apparently I that's being pushed big time because it is on my front page too. So,
and then Minecraft is coming to HBO Max, which, look, give credit where it's due. That's a big get.
It is. And it was, I didn't realize it was going to be out. And then I saw it on my main page coming this week. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I threw that out there. So
say what you want about that movie. I mean, I don't really know much about Minecraft. I know a little bit more from seeing the movie and all. Plus, we did the Lava Chicken remixes, which is available on our YouTube channel. Go and check that out.
People tell me they love it.
Movie did it make $1 billion or close to $1 billion?
It made a lot of money. I don't think it was. I don't think it was $1 billion, but yeah, it did. It did
half $1 billion at least.
Mm-hmm.
It did gangbusters, and everybody who was fans of that video game love it too. So it hit its audience. It did what it was supposed to do. We're not the audience for it, but we're not the ones it was trying to serve, and apparently did very well. So Minecraft,
so HBO Max gets Minecraft,
despite that shitty CEO over at Warner Brothers.
That's right.
Over on Disney Plus and Hulu, Underdogs, which is narrated by Ryan Reynolds. What is that?
It's like a nature documentary about animals, like the unseen animals of the animal kingdom. So like, everyone's like sharks and bears and all this stuff, but this like this is weird animal that no one ever talks about. He's like talking about the weird shit. Yeah.
The duckbill platypus.
The Basenji.
No one fears a pack of fireflies. Then over this one I wanted to see. I saw the advertisement for this over on the Nat Geo portion, which is on Disney Plus. The Sally Ride documentary.
Yeah, that one I'm very excited about. I really kind of want. I love space. I love the space program, the shuttle, all that stuff. So yeah, that's one I want to check out as well.
Over on Netflix, The Waterfront.
Yeah, it's Kevin Williamson show about a fishing family, and their business is kind of going bad, so they're kind of starting to try to get that out. It's like a drama, but I always mess her last name up. It's the girl who played Supergirl, Melissa, whatever her name is.
Oh, but Benoist.
Benoist. Okay, so she's in it. Maria Bello's
on
in
the show.
Yeah, and then so it looks interesting. I don't know much about it. I probably will check it out. It's on Netflix. So
she's quite lovely. And then,
she always seems very nice.
Oh, she was very nice. And then unfortunately for her, like shortly after being on the show, she was part of the fappening.
Oh, I heard about
when that all went down.
Yeah. She was in a really bad relationship too, though. So
yeah, look at that.
It's crazy. She's like 6 feet tall too. So how tall are you?
I'm wearing multiple lifts.
So many lifts.
Yeah, so many lifts that De Niro left around.
We also had De Niro on the show, and he let me wear his list to take the picture.
Correct. And then over on Video on Demand, I said Queen of the Ring is available. You can go and check that out. Final Destination, Bloodlines. I'll now. Gil's been telling me for years to watch Final Destination. I will get to that.
They're silly fun. Like they're worth.
I want to watch it. I don't know what Friendship is.
It's a Paul Rudd movie that just came out. Paul Rudd movie that just came out. Fight or Flight is a Josh Hartnett movie where he's an assassin on a plane, but the plane's full of assassins trying to get the same person.
Oh yeah, it's like Con Ed for John Wick. Yeah.
Exactly. They turn the lights on, and then The Amateur was that one where old Sleepy Eyes is CIA guy that can't fight, but he can rig up a blowing up pool or something.
There's a show that's on HBO Max. It's on the front page of the app. It's an episodic show where it stars the blonde guy from Lost.
Oh, Duster.
Yes.
Yes, I've been wanting to watch
Sawyer,
it.
Right? Was his name Sawyer on the show?
Yes.
Yeah. Duster. That looks interesting.
I've heard good things.
So I want to check that out as well. Coming out next week in theaters, F1 the movie. That is
getting pushed a lot.
I'll wait for on demand, but I'll check that out. Squid Game season 3 comes out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And over on Disney Plus, the show that's getting terrible reviews
and no push. Like they're not even. No one's talking.
It is getting shit panned by people who would cheer for MCU everything.
It's the Echo of
the outlets are not liking this. They're saying it's worse than Echo. It's Marvel's Ironheart, which one doesn't need to be a thing.
It really doesn't.
2, so in the comics, she is an admirer or fan or something of Tony Stark and winds up building her own Iron Man suit. I think there was even some kind of crossover at the time in the comics where Tony Stark got wind of her, and it was kind of a hybrid between the Iron Man technology and stuff from like Wakanda. Mm-hmm. She was a brainiac, could build all of this shit. She just didn't know how to do this stuff. But then when she did, she was just like uber scientist, black kid, college level, right? This show ties it in that she can't power the shit without some kind of like demonic magic.
It's all Mephisto.
Guess who? I was gonna say, guess who they're wasting the debut of Mephisto on?
Is this what they're going to put Mephisto into?
Yes.
Bummer.
And you know who's playing Mephisto?
Has it been confirmed? Because I've heard stories that.
You know what? I don't know for 100% now that you're saying that, but I've seen other places that it's supposed to be Sacha Baron Cohen.
That is the rumor that's been going around for a while, but no one has ever confirmed it.
Mephisto should not be in fucking Ironheart. Should have shown up. No, it would have been perfect. Doctor Strange.
Any of the Doctor Strange movies.
What's the mom one? The second Doctor Strange. What's the subtitle of Madness?
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. Should have shown up there. Could have shown up in Agatha. That was another speculation which would have made
any of these
sense.
magic-based shows to have, the underworld, or even save them for like a Midnight Suns movie.
Right, something like that. Ironheart.
Such a
that's the word that's where Mephisto makes his debut because of all the demonic magic she's using. It's just the whole thing looks so convoluted and patchwork. Like they're just trying to throw a bunch of shit in there to make this thing work. But
sounds horrible.
All right, let's go through the news, see what we got, because we are running super late.
All right, we'll go real fast. Ready or Not. Did you ever see that movie? The first one? Girl gets married on her wedding night. They play a Ready or Not, Here I Come hide and seek game, and it turns out the family has to kill her to appease some kind of deal with the devil.
I think I have seen that.
Great movie, real fun, very bloody. They're making a sequel called Ready or Not, Here I Come. It's coming out April 26th.
Yes, I did. Because this was another game that felt like it was going to be Clue.
Yeah.
But then turned into like a Knives Out situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They added Sarah Michelle Gellar and Elijah Wood, along with returning of Samara Weaving. Coming out April 26th. Production has been going through. Also, they have Catherine Newton, Sean Hannessy, Nestor Carbonell, Kevin Durand, who was in Abigail, who I like. And it's coming back as David Cronenberg is going to be in it.
I think there was someone from this movie we had on the show too.
Samara Weaving, maybe?
No, I think it was Adam Brody.
Yeah, he was in the first one.
Yeah, I got to go back and look at the archives, but I think we had him on for that.
Gotcha. Moving on, Jared Leto. Old Jared Leto. He's been accused of inappropriate behavior toward underage girls.
Did we not cover this last time?
Well, we did. We skipped it because we ran long again.
Oh, okay.
I figured we go through it since Tron's.
I've never liked him ever.
I was fine with him at first, and then he became weird and fucking weird. But he's being accused of inappropriate behavior via phone calls, emails, and text messages with underage girls, which I don't understand how you do that nowadays, knowing everything gets saved. Allegations coming out of a new report. This group called Airmail, a weekly newsletter founded by Vanity Fair's former editor, published an expose with accounts from several women who say they met him all before turning 18. According to the report, few of these women claim Leto asked for their phone numbers, including one who says she was just 16 years old when he texted her in 2006. The anonymous woman says their talks quickly turned sexual. He would ask things like, have you ever had a boyfriend? Have you ever sucked a dick? And it just got weird. There's a model called Laura LaRue, said when she was 16, she exchanged phone numbers with Leto in 2008, claiming that he allegedly would walk around in front of her completely naked. A third woman claims she's been texting with Jared Leto before she turned 18 and asked her, do any of the little boys you hang out with F you? So, the least shocking thing in the world is that Jared Leto is a fucking weirdo and probably a kid toucher. So we'll see how this plays out, especially since he's been kind of Disney's.
Well, guess who won't be promoting Tron?
Yeah, and that's part of what I'm thinking is that they'll probably.
I will say this: guess who won't be showing up in every fucking movie now?
Jared Leto.
I mean, he was in the Haunted Mansion movie, not as him, but
that was a good use of Jared Leto. It was kind
of
voice,
him,
but
he was a ghoul screaming,
and I loved it. So yeah,
I'm going to tell you this: I have a growing collection of photos that I can never publicly post again because of so many celebrities doing terrible, heinous things. I can't put photos out there. I have some that are so beyond terrible that like it, I mean, like if it was like if it's not like you had a photo of OJ pre-trial where you could
I would
get
be
away
more
with
impressed if you had a photo of OJ post-trial. Like it's me and
there's
OJ.
plenty. I actually, you know what? I actually have video footage of me and OJ.
Nice.
I gotta find it. It's back in 1996.
Oof.
At a Planet Hollywood in Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, and that's going to be 30 years old next year.
I know. Oh shit.
That's our anniversary show.
No, there's a couple of other anniversaries I forgot. Next week is our 11th anniversary.
I was actually just going to mention it because Tom from Alberta actually sent me a message. He goes, I finally just got my 10th anniversary poster. I was like, yeah, he was trying to coincide it with our 11th anniversary.
Well, the problem with Tom's thing was customs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just forgot about it. I put it off to the side because I told him I put it away so I could, because I had to get a customs form to send it to Canada.
Yeah.
And it sat on a shelf that I forgot. Like other things got put in front of it and I forgot all about it. So that was all my fault. But yeah, the 11th anniversary is that. And then the 30th anniversary. Is it 30th anniversary, 96 of something that I have never talked about.
Ooh.
I've teased it many times, but I've never talked about it. Maybe I'll have to do that for next year.
Yeah. It'd be for the 12th anniversary.
But anyway, the photos of people that I can't just post anymore.
Oh, Jared Leto.
From 2006.
It looks like he's going to murder somebody.
Well, we had to we were hosting
a Mars probably, right?
Yeah, we were hosting a concert for our West Palm Beach affiliate, and they had us come out, people from the show, and introduce the bands for. They used to do their own mini version of Warped Tour called the Buzz Bake Sale.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
I have a poster over there. When you see the lineup of the people on it, it's mind blowing. But they had, it's like, hey, you guys, because we were the new morning show and stuff there. And they're like, do you want to introduce some of the bands? So like different versions of us went out there to introduce the bands. And I got stuck with Jared Leto. But
they would text me and walk around naked.
That was a whole other thing. I kept asking him to do so and he wouldn't. But for all these other people, whatever.
He tells the story. He keeps telling her that you were doing it.
Moving on.
And moving on. Star Wars. Mia Goth is going to play the villain opposite Ryan Gosling in the movie Starfighter. She's joined Gosling in Starfighter, the feature from director Sean Levy, who did the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Gosling is leading the new feature project, which is expected to begin production this fall in England. It's scheduled to open May 28th of 2027. There's not a lot of details about the story. But it's supposed to be a standalone movie, not a prequel, not a sequel. It's a new adventure. It's set in a period of time that we haven't seen or explored yet. What was that?
It's a standalone fruit.
It's a standalone fruit.
Starfighter is a standalone fruit.
There you go. So we're gonna
kiwi.
We're gonna get a female villain right out of the box.
That's fine. See how it goes.
This next story,
ship hand before it even comes out.
I know. So we didn't cover.
Oh fuck! I never finished Andor.
Dude, finish Andor.
I forgot all about that. All right, I got to do it. Sorry.
I'm going to tie this in real quick with celebrity deaths that happened. I know we didn't cover this last week, but one of the celebrity deaths that we didn't cover was the Bonnaroo Music Festival co-founder Jonathan Mayers.
Yeah,
was found dead, 51 years old. I can't remember if he was sick, but he did pass away at 51. The reason why I'm bringing that up is that last weekend, Bonnaroo was canceled completely due to weather.
They didn't cancel it for the guy running it dying, but they canceled it for the weather.
Completely canceled. The festival announced in the news on Friday the 13th Instagram post after issuing a series of weather delays and an evacuation notice earlier in the day. Thursday marked the first official day of the event at Bonnaroo in Manchester, Tennessee. That set was to last through Sunday, so it's a 4-day festival. The only one of the 4 headliners, Luke Combs, delivered a performance before the event was completely canceled. The quote, "Today, the National Weather Service provided us with an updated forecast with significant and steady precipitation that will produce deteriorating camping and egress conditions in the coming days. We are beyond gutted, but we must make the safest decision and cancel the remainder of Bonnaroo." Bonnaroo revealed that they will be issuing refunds to all one-day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday admission tickets purchased via front gate tickets. though those who purchase 4-day admission tickets and camping accommodations via the ticketing service will only receive a 75% refund. Fuck that. If I paid that much money for a 4-day event and you had to cancel it, refund it 100%.
Yeah.
So that sucks. It does kind of make me laugh because I think it was last year or the year before we covered Burning Man and Coachella, and with Burning Man getting rained out and people getting stuck in the mud. When I heard about this, I was like, ooh, they're going to get stuck. But nope, they ended up actually canceling the entire festival.
I would feel bad for the Bonnaroo people if they had that situation. Burning Man, I have no sympathy for.
No, they can go after themselves. But yeah, this was kind of a bummer. And then we'll end it with this. There's going to be a new Harold and Kumar movie from the Cobra Kai creators, John Hurwitz, Schlossberg, and Josh Held. The creators of Netflix's Karate Kid sequel, Cobra Kai, are developing a new Harold and Kumar movie for Lionsgate. They are writing the script. The project marks full circle opportunity for the trio who began their careers with the buddy comedy franchise after scripting the original 2004 film, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. They went on to make their directorial debut with Harold and Kumar's Escape Guantanamo Bay in 2008. John Cho and Cal Penn haven't officially signed, but they are expected to return, which will be good. Because
why announce that it's being made if you don't have the main stars of it?
They do that all the time. They announced Moana 2 and the live action. They didn't do any of that.
Look, Cal Penn worked for Obama. Like, he was in the Obama administration. He still shows up here and there, but he has higher profile job work that he's doing.
He worked on House for 5-6 years.
Yeah. And he was Taj in Van Wilder's movies and a bunch of other, but I'm saying
John Cho's got a great thing too.
Right. They're big enough names that you're not like, well, we announced a project. They got to come back now for it. No, they don't.
They don't.
They made 1 or 2 more Van Wilders that didn't bring Ryan Reynolds back to the table.
No, Reynolds didn't show back up. No, but those all fell under those National Lampoon monikers where they would just do things like National Lampoon's American Pie, but then they did like Stifler's brother did fucking like Sorority Run or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they could spin those things off. Harold and Kumar, those are the 2 main characters.
Ryan Reynolds could go back and do another Van Wilder.
I would love to see him do a new Van Wilder where he's still in college.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still in college.
He's teaching at the college.
Oh, that would be even better. Or like another Waiting with him in it, because I loved Waiting. But yeah, new Harold and Kumar coming. I'm a sucker for those old like 90s 2000s comedies, so I'll watch it.
All right. All right. We've gone long enough. We need to get out of here. And as we do so, Jordan, our nation's eyes turn to you.
I am on Instagram, Blue Sky, X at Jinxed Ronan, Twitch at Jinxed Ronan 79. If you guys want to friend me on, I would say go to Instagram, send me a personal message, give me a random quote from Jaws, and I'll pick my favorite and I'll give you a free copy of Jaws on 4K since Eric already owns it. If you have an Amazon subscription and you want to go over to Twitch and use that subscription to get a free 1 month at a time subscription to our Twitch channel, it's Eric Nagel on Twitch. Use your subscription to give us some actual love. Subscribe for a month. Check it out. Doesn't cost you anything extra.
All right. Thank you very much. For me and the show, sorry, I didn't hit the cough button. All things social media, it's Eric Nagel. If you're listening on the iHeart app, put us in the first position on the presets. We'd appreciate it. If you're listening Apple, Spotify, any of those places, go over there, do us a kindness, leave us a positive review. It helps out the program in a big, big way. So I'm told. If you want to watch and listen or be part of the show as we do it live each and every week, subscribe to our YouTube or our Twitch channels at It's Eric Nagel. Turn on the notifications. It lets you know when we're live. You can come in and be part of the chat. Throw money around for Jordan's Lego obsession. Or just derail the show like Tom from Alberta. I'm kidding, Tom. If you can't do any of that stuff and you want to watch the show when it's convenient for yourself, that's also okay. On our YouTube channel, you go over there, watch full episodes, clips, highlights, all that fun stuff is right there for you to enjoy. All right. We do need to get out of here. 11th anniversary next week. We are not doing anything about it. We're just
I was going to say, last year we dressed up real fancy like.
Yeah.
Next week, you're lucky you get sleeves.
If we're still doing this at 20 and we're not with a real company actually giving a shit about this, then it was a waste for not. but we shall see from that point on. Until the next time, everybody,
Be excellent to each other.
we'll be seeing you.
It's Eric Nagel.
Well, I feel like I'm your daddy. I am all y'all's daddy.
Not my daddy.
You're not my daddy.
Hush, now I'm your daddy.
You ain't my daddy, boy.
Yes, I am.
No,
You are not our daddy.
I am your daddy.
Not a daddy.
You ain't my daddy.
Hush! I said I'm your daddy.
You ain't my daddy.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Eric Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itsericnagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.